So I have my outline. Now I can start adding in all of the little polygon shapes. So a few things to remember about this is that it's best to work with triangles. Always try to keep your shape a triangle. Okay, that'll just make it easier. It's best to connect your shapes. So make sure that you connect your shapes to anchor points because that'll make it a lot easier in the end as well. And then remember, if you want to go to a different shape, you can hit enter. And then another thing that Illustrator will do is that it'll kind of change up the pen tool. It tries to be smart, and that can be annoying sometimes. And so sometimes, let's see if I can get it to do one of those things. It has a little star up against it right now, but notice if I start adding anchor points, okay, notice that I tried to connect those two lines and there was a minus sign next to the pen. If I click that, then it actually deletes things. So just be aware of that. Sometimes you'll just have to make a new anchor point and work with that. Okay, so once again, I have my subject outlined, I have the main features outlined. At this point, please double check and make sure that you're working on your polygons layer. If you're working on the background layer and the background is highlighted, then you're not going to be left with this polygon drawing on the other layer. And so you probably ought to just undo all the work you've done. You need to make sure that all of your drawings, all of the pen tool marks and pathways are on the polygons layer. So from here, you'll just start adding polygons. And a good way to start to just figure out different areas of where to add them is you can kind of zoom out. Remember, that is Control or Command minus. And just look for triangular areas that you could draw a triangle into. And then just start there, start adding triangles, and I think you'll be fine. Just make sure you connect all the anchors, that they're all triangles, and it'll look great. If you ever run into trouble, you can undo it by going to Edit, Undo, or you can also hit Control or Command Z. So if I don't want that, I'll hit Control Z, and that's taken care of. Notice that I'm zooming in and out a lot. So I'm doing that so I can kind of look at all the different polygon shapes that I need to make. Zooming in and out will definitely help you realize the different areas of color and value that you need to pay attention to. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that when you want to switch shapes and you don't want to keep adding more to the same path, then you'll hit enter and then you can go to a different area without having to create more pathways to get to that area, and that's really helpful. Also remember that you need to connect the anchor points. So try and make sure that all your shapes connect to one another, that those little anchor points light up as you connect your pathways. at this point you have all your polygons drawn. Once again, they are all on this polygon layer. So if I turn off the background layer, then we have all of our nice little polygons drawn. And so at this point, we just need to save it and submit everything to Canvas. So you'll want to save this by itself. You'll just want to click on Save. So you've saved this project now, and you can always go back to this and open it whenever you need to. But now you need to save this as a JPEG so that I can check your work and make sure that you did it correctly. So to do that, you're going to need to export it, and you'll want to export it into a different file. So this is all saved now. Now you're going to need to export it to turn basically this image into Canvas, just this line part. So you will go to File, Export, Export As, and then you'll probably just type in Polygon Artwork Lines. You'll hit Export, and you'll click OK. So at this point, you should be able to go to your folder. You'll go to your folder with all your work on it, and this will be, the AI file will be the working file that you'll use to add color to. And then, however, this file, actually the Polygon artwork, if you click on that, that'll have a JPEG of all the work you've done. So you can clearly see all of the polygons that I've added in. And so you'll submit this to the first portion of this project.